Hey, soldiers, another bank is having difficulty. This time, the bank is backed by two of the biggest names in the corporate arena globally, okay? But they're having trouble. We brought you news last month about Apple's high-yield savings account backed by Goldman Sachs. And we're going to follow up because it's not going as well as one may have expected that type of combination to go. All right, you would think online banking, Apple, Goldman Sachs. Okay, we've got the leading company in technology, and then we've got one of the leading financial institutions in the world. Yet this thing is not working. So we're going to follow up on it. Now, before we get into it, guys, go ahead. If you have not subscribed, it's important that you do so. The global financial arena is evolving, moving at the speed of light. You've got to keep up with it. That's what we do here. So enlist, become a soldier of finance. Let me know you did so in the comments. Of course, I will salute you. Also, you guys, this audience, I swear, this audience does such a good job of giving that thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Let the algorithm know that this is the type of information you want to see more of. Now, we do have a members only section. We call it the Officers Club. I want you to hit that join button. Check out what we offer. All right. Now, I'm telling you, this thing contains so much value, and it is basically giving yourself the gift of financial literacy. Right now, we're going through exclusive videos on stock market basics, understanding the equities markets so that you can make better choices with regard to that asset class. All right, guys, let's get into it. Apple customers struggle to get money out of Goldman Sachs operated savings account. Now, I would imagine the C-suite at both companies is probably up in arms that they're getting this kind of negative press, okay? Because not being able to get your money out of a bank, out of a high-yield savings account in this day and age is not, well, it's never really a good look, is it? Apple launched a high-yield savings account with an APY, or annual percentage yield, of 4.15% in partnership with Goldman Sachs in April. But 1 month later, some account holders are struggling to move their money out of their account. Now, you know, with these online banks, there are no branches, right? So in order to take advantage of this 4.15% APR, you have to link a bank account. So once you do that and I've had a high yield savings account before. In fact, we did the review of the Marcus high yield savings account. That's on the channel. I'll link to it. It's in the Evergreen playlist. And I never had any issues with it. Usually takes about 48 hours to transfer money from a high yield online savings account back to your brick and mortar establishment. So you can go to an ATM or what have you if you need the cash, or if you don't have a card associated with the account. Okay, so transferring money, that is the norm with a online savings account, which this is. Georgia resident Nathan Thacker told the Wall Street Journal that he has been trying to transfer $1,700 from his Apple account to JP Morgan Chase since May 15th. So he's been going on roughly 2 weeks. He's been trying to do this. Each 2 weeks, not 48 hours, 2 weeks to get his money, right? Each time he tried to contact Goldman Sachs customer service department, Thacker said he was told to give it a few days. Can you imagine? Give it a few days. I want my money. I need my $1,700, right? Man's got things to do, obligations to meet. He put the money in there with the expectation that, you know, based on the terms and conditions, he'd be able to get it out in a reasonable amount of time. And 2 weeks is definitely not a reasonable amount of time. And being told, give it a few days, that definitely is not a reasonable response coming from your bank. The money finally hit his Chase account on this past Thursday. So, right, today. He waited roughly a week to get it. But only after the Journal contacted, if you got the Wall Street Journal's, you know, the editor's personal phone number, you can get your money. So only after the Journal contacted Goldman about Thacker and other customers faulty experiences trying to transfer their money out of the Apple savings account, the publication reported. So if you're having trouble getting your money out of this Apple/Goldman Sachs high yield savings account, call the Wall Street Journal, and then you'll get some action. Then they won't tell you wait a few days. In some other money transfer related cases, the funds seemingly disappeared and didn't show up in customers' Apple account nor the account they were trying to transfer the money to. This is off to an auspicious start, isn't it? The credit card gives customers up to 3% back on their purchases via an award dubbed Daily Cash, which is automatically deposited into the savings account, which is also serviced by the Wall Street investment giant Goldman Sachs. Customers deposited $1 billion in the first 4 days after the feature debuted on April 17th. At the end of the launch week, about 240,000 accounts had been opened in 1 week. Okay, whoever marketed this, do me a favor. Tweet Soldiers of Finance. Put us out there. We don't even need 240,000 subscriptions in, what was it? In 1 week. Okay, we'd be happy with a quarter of that. So if you're listening, help us out. Help a brother out, right? The Apple APY rate is higher than the 3.9% Goldman Sachs offers for its online savings account at its bank Marcus, okay? So you're getting a little more by, coupling it with Apple. And I didn't have any problems with Marcus. Is there some sabotage going on here? I don't know. But an Apple community thread, a forum where Apple customers help each other with troubleshooting, shows several users having trouble taking money out of the new savings account. A user began the thread in late April with a post that says, Apple savings won't allow me to withdraw. I tried to withdraw some funds from my Apple savings and I can't. As of June 1st, 231 people had clicked the Me Too button under that query. So we're having quite a few people dealing with this. Another customer by the name of Ruben, and look, some people might say, it's not a lot, 231 people? Well, if you are one of the 231, yeah, this is a significant issue. And as someone who does not have the service, okay, this is definitely not confidence inspiring. I'm not saying that they won't get over this hump. We're just looking at what's going on right now. So if you were thinking about getting this high yield savings account, maybe you want to wait a while until they figure out what the hell's going on, iron out these bugs. Another customer by the name of Ruben replied with an anecdote of, quote, an absolutely ridiculous experience where Apple savings would not let me withdraw to one of the bank accounts on file, as it wasn't the account funds originally came from, despite the fact that I paid the Apple card from the same account, unquote. All right, so they're having some growing pains here. And that's interesting because it seems like Apple is handling your money in the same way they handle the iPhone or some other piece of technology. Let's just put it out there. Beta test it, okay? You don't beta test with people's money, okay, Apple? I know you guys are like filthy rich and $1,700 is something that you probably find in the seat cushions in your Maseratis, but, that's just not the case for most of us. All right, I'm at 7 business days and counting on money I withdrew from Apple savings into another external savings account. Mind you, also with Goldman Sachs, another disgruntled customer replied. Yet another replied, adding that an Apple savings representative, quote, told me if the withdrawal is not successful by the 6th or 7th business day, what's a business day between friends? It will reverse and put the money back into your Apple savings account. I'm hoping this is true and will wait another couple of days. So you got people out there not knowing, all right? And when you got to pay the rent, landlord's not trying to hear that, Apple's having trouble. They're not trying to hear that. Goldman didn't comment on specific customers, but instead blamed the suspicious activity on, quote, a delayed transfer due to processes in place designed to help protect their accounts, unquote. So your word salad is the order of the day. So we were trying to protect you. Be patient, okay? We were just trying to do something for you, and you can't wait 2 weeks for your money. I mean, what's up with that? All right, and that was according to an email statement from Apple sent to the Post. The bank added that, quote, the bank added that it, quote, takes our obligation to protect our customers' deposits very seriously and made sure to note the savings accounts, otherwise positive feedback. Yeah, I get you trying to protect my account. I appreciate that. But don't protect it so much that I can't get my money, okay, when I need it. Quote, the customer response to the new savings account for Apple Card users has been excellent and beyond our expectations, Goldman said in its statement, adding that the vast majority of customers see no delays in transferring their funds. And while this might be true, again, Goldman Sachs is not just any bank, okay? This is one of the top financial institutions in the world. It should be absolutely unacceptable that even one client have some sort of snafu with their money in this account, especially given the fact that this is not Goldman Sachs' first rodeo. They have Marcus, and they have had it for, I think, about 2 years now, all right? So they know how to run an online bank. Experts in the anti-money laundering field told the Wall Street Journal that brand new accounts like Apple's savings account can set off anti-money laundering alarms or other security concerns that call for review. The hell are you guys talking about? Talking about $1,700. This is not Pablo Escobar here. Other alarms can be set off when customers try to transfer large sums of money out of a newly opened account. The anti-money laundering professionals said, according to the outlet. The Apple Savings account was released in partnership with Goldman Sachs on April 17th, according to a press release on the iPhone maker's website, on Apple's website. The big appeal for customers, of course, is the APY, that 4.1%, more than 10 times the national average, according to the FDIC. The high-yield savings account, though, is only available to pre-existing users of Apple's credit card, Apple Card, the first consumer credit card issued by Goldman. Now, that might not be a bad thing because this is confined, all right? They're having these troubles. Can you imagine if they rolled this out to the general public? That 231 that's having issues would be multiplied by, I don't even know what factor, but it would be tremendous, okay? So, look, do I think that this is a disaster that's unrecoverable? No, not at all. But they definitely need to maybe spend the weekend working on improving this for all of the clients. Because look, even though that 231 disgruntled individuals that weren't able to get their money or having trouble transferring their money or what have you, look, if this were 1985, you wouldn't even have heard about it, okay? But it's not 1985. It is 2023. And we have the interwebs, okay? And this is something that, it's an internet-based product. This is something that people are going to try to review and get a handle on whether or not. And you're going to see people, they're going to look at this and they're going to see some shaky reviews and they're going to say, and rightfully so, I don't have, I'm not built like that. When I need my money, I need my money. Now, I will say that an account like this can serve as a perfect emergency/opportunity account, to get your money working a little hard. That little bit of money you keep in a savings account in order to just bridge the gap for emergencies and opportunities. We talked about this ad nauseum. So with a savings account of this nature, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it should never be a case in which you desperately need the money because, again, best case scenario, it's going to take you like 48 hours to get it, okay? So let's talk about another bank. JP Morgan. They served an evil client And they did so in a very hypocritical way. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan, has basically said there's a set of rules for you guys down there in the proletariat, and there's a set of rules for us up here in the upper echelon who attend the same parties on the same islands, okay? All right, so check out that video, okay, because you need to know who you're doing business with. Never forget, JP Morgan Chase, all right? So you may say, I don't deal directly with JP Morgan, but if you have a Chase account, you drive past them probably a couple of times a day. Guys, watch the video. I'll talk to you soon.